Snapchat before they got really strict about their policies and taking accounts down, and before they start working with the feds. You can find weed, crack, cocaine, you know what I mean, heroin, ecstasy, alcohol, guns, whatever the case. It's your boy, y'all, Majin, favorite YouTuber, rapper, trapper, hustler. With that being said, let's jump right into the video. So boom, I was 16 years old, or I had just turned 16 years old. You know what I mean? Well, I'll wait before we get into all that, bro. It's gonna be a 2-for-1 video, man. I'm gonna give y'all the sauce and how you can get into the game, right? While telling my own story and how I got into the game and why I got into the game, bro. And with that being said, when I get to the sauce part, you know, of this whole video, it's only for educational purposes, you know what I mean? And entertainment purposes only. That's it. You know what I mean? With that being said, and I can talk about my story personally because I've been caught for it. And that's a whole nother story. We'll get into that another day. You know what I mean? I might record that same video today, but I might not upload it till like another day, you know, down the week or whatever the case may be. With that being said, September 2020, after a couple of months of turning 16, somebody finally gave me a chance and I got my first job. You know what I mean? I was working at KFC. I was working for $9.25 an hour, 6 hours a day, you know what I mean, 4 to 6. Anytime I got that bi-weekly check, that little lump sum of a couple $100, I would take that money, you know what I mean? I've always been a hustler since I was about 12 years old. I would take that money and I'll make it into more money. Anything I get my hands on, Yeezys, Jordans, Bape, Supreme, Louis, Gucci, you know what I mean? Fendi, you name it, you know what I mean? Once upon a time, I had my hands on it. Gold, whatever the case may be, some chains, whatever the case may be, bro. I would take that and I make it into some more money. You know what I mean? I did that for about 6 months until I had to quit my job. Fast forward 2021 in February. The reason why I had to quit my job was because I was letting it work and the money get ahead of my school. I was falling behind and I was like this close to flunking out. You would think, why is, you know, school more important than money? To me, you know, school was more important than money because I came from a family full of fuck-ups. You know what I mean? My parents alone didn't get their GED until their late 20s. You know what I mean? I have uncles and aunties getting their GEDs in prison. True story, real shit. So in my mind, at that time, I'm thinking like the bare minimum I can do for my mom and for my family is graduate high school. So ultimately, I chose high school over getting this money. So I quit my job, right? A couple of days later, I get my last check. It was like $450. And I blew it all. I didn't think that was gonna be my last check. I thought I was gonna get like another check after that. And when I got that check, it was gonna be my last check. Turns out this check wasn't my last check. And I blew it. You would think like, yo, bro, why does that matter? That mattered because I didn't have no money. You're like, well, didn't you say you was making several hundreds of dollars? Yeah, I was. But the thing about that, I was so young, right? Having so much money at that time, coming from a poor environment, I was always blowing it on shit I don't need. You know what I mean? Shit that I don't have today. You know what I mean? Going broke, trying to look rich. Real shit. With that being said, bro, I was back to square one. No money in my pocket. I can't get a job because I'm trying to focus on school right now, right? And I'm like, all right, take a look around my room. I see some pair of Jordans that I never even wore anyways. They like these ones right here. I'm gonna get up just to show y'all. They exactly like this, Jordan 3 cement and everything, except instead of it being red, it was blue, like a dark blue. And I bought them because I was trying to pull blue off, but I ended up not pulling blue off because blue's not really my color. More red and black is, you know what I mean? At this time, I was trying to pull off like a blue and black or blue and white. I just couldn't do it. So they sat in the closet after wearing them like once or twice. I put on my Facebook Marketplace. Like I said, I had no money. Started from ground zero again, right? And I sold them for like 200. I posted them for like 260. You know, and the guy was a good haggler, tucked me down $60, right? And I was going through Snapchat at this time on Snapchat before they got really strict about their policies and taking accounts down. So before they start working with the feds, you can find weed, crack, cocaine, you know what I mean? Heroin, ecstasy, alcohol, guns, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? If you was a little kid, you can find nicotine, like jewels and shit, right? On Snapchat. And at this time, I had found this one dude who was selling like $100 an ounce. Saved half, spent half on this ounce, right? Bought me the ounce, right? Next day, or a couple days later, right? I bought a scale for like 50 bucks. And you're like, how did you get a scale? Now, one, you can either get them on Amazon, but I have cash, right? And I didn't want to use my mom's credit card and then get rid of cash for it. You know what I mean? I didn't want anything coming back to me or the package coming in while I was out and about. And my mom opens up the package and finds out it was a scale. I didn't want none of that. So I literally went down the street to the smoke shop, bought a scale, big ass scale for like 50 bucks. Right, nice ass scale. That shit was nice, bro. I missed that shit. It got confiscated. That's a whole different story, right? Bought some baggies, right? Now this is where I teach y'all the sauce while telling my own story, bro. This is what you want to do. Like I said, buy you a scale. Once you get you a scale, and once you got you some weed, once you got you some bags, you gonna turn on your scale. It's gonna say G on there. G stands for gram, right? And then you're gonna put your weed on the scale. Once it says 1G, that means that that's 1 gram of weed. Now for the market of weed, at least out here in Mexico, 1 gram of weed can go anywhere from $10 to $20, right? And with that being said, it was still illegal at this time when I was doing this shit. It's legal now, but at this time it was illegal. And when I was underage, it was super illegal, especially for me to have an ounce, man. Like fucking New Mexico was tripping back in the day. They looked at an ounce of weed like a fucking 8-ball cocaine, you know, stupid shit. Anyways, once it says 1G, bro, take that shit, bag it up in your little, you know, like sandwich bags that you buy from Walmart, Dollar Tree, the dollar store, whatever the case might be, right? Bag it up, put it aside. You're gonna do that 28 more times until the ounce runs out. You gotta make sure that the weed is divided evenly in 28 different bags, because if you're short, you know, 1 bag, that means your plug skipped you. If you're short a couple bags, if you have less than 28, you got robbed, right? Now, if you got more than 28, you got you a good plug, bro. Keep going back to him, right? I had a good plug. My plug, he was throwing an extra gram in it every time. He goes, I know you sell a little, bro, but I'm gonna throw in an extra gram just for you to try it at least. You know what I mean? And he was cool about it. So 3.5 grams on the streets, bro, that's called an eighth. Reason why it's called an eighth, it's an eighth of 28 grams. 3.5 grams is 1/8 of 28 grams, right? And then double that, 7 grams on the streets is called a quad, bro, right? And then you got a half or half zip. That's about 14 grams, because, you know, half of 28, 14, right? And then you got a zip. A zip is 28 grams. So what I recommend doing is what I did, right? Is I break down the 28 grams. I do 14 individual grams bagged up, and I'll make the rest eighths. Cause some people have some money. You're surprised how many kids out there have money in their pockets that the parents will give them every morning, and how many kids are willing to pay $30, $35 in pay, sometimes even 40. You know what I mean? Right? Because depending on who you was going to, you was paying like 10, 15, $20 for just a gram. So some of these kids are willing to pay like $40, $50 an aid, right? But me, I stick to the lower end of the pricing. The reason being is because I'm gonna beat the market, bro. Now, let's just say me and bro got the same strand, same percentage of THC. It give you the same high, but bro selling it at $20 a gram. I'm selling it at $10 a gram, still making profit, still making my money. How many people are gonna come to me rather than going to him? They gonna fuck with me 100 times more before fucking with him. Only time they gonna fuck with him is one, I get caught up, or two, I'm out of town. You know what I mean? Other than that, they fucking with me almost like 90% of the time. And that's how I ran my business. And it was just me as a solo man. I didn't run with nobody. I only ran with my one friend, my day one, right? This nigga was right beside me selling weed with me, bro. And this went on for 7 months, breaking down ounces to grams. You know what I mean? Going around school, hey, bro, you trying to buy some weed? Hey, bro, you trying to buy some weed? And with all that being said, man, I ended up getting caught a couple months later, you know, getting too cocky, getting too flashy. You know, yeah, I was making my money, but at what cost, you know? And, you know, the moral of the story is, bro, work for an honest dollar. Work hard in life, man. With that, all that being said, next story time will be coming out in a couple days from now. We're talking about how I got caught selling weed. It'll be kind of like a two-part to this story. With all that being said, bro, y'all stay blessed.